Yo, what's up, guys? So I woke up this morning, texted my buddy Corey. I said, hey, should I make a hit this morning? He goes, yeah, let's do it. The weather's pretty crisp. So finally we got a little bit of good weather. We made a couple changes to the car. I'm going to go over those really quick and then we'll get to business. So again, I'm in the S650 Mustang. You guys have kind of seen what I've done along the way, just do-it-yourself mods, some budget spare fronts. Well, anyways, our lethal performance drag pack came in. It saved us about 30 pounds, 29 pounds, something like that. Then we went ahead and threw on a Pypes X-pipe that saved us, I think, about 8 pounds. Also, shout out to Josh Parker at Parker Performance, hooked us up with a Pypes axle back to bolt onto the car. I took a picture of that. I didn't get the weight, but if memory serves me correct, that also saves somewhere about 7 to 10 pounds. So here's a picture of that. It sounds really good. Of course, I don't know about performance on these type of modifications. We still have the cats. Josh at Parker Performance is working on modifying our Pypes headers. We've got the stepped long tube headers just because they were quick and easy to get. And I feel that performance-wise, those perform really good. So we're going to throw those on here. So we'll have a full Pypes lightweight exhaust on here. I feel for an NA, you know, pushing the NA stuff, I think that's a great choice. So to recap really quick, the changes today, right now, before I make these hits, the lethal drag pack with Hoosier tires, the Pypes X-pipe, and the Pypes catback. So we're looking about 30, 40, 50 pounds of savings roughly. Again, we're a little bit under a quarter of a tank. We're on E20 and the air is pretty nice. DA is about 1200. So yes, you know, for us, that's considered really nice. So I'm going to get down here to our spot in Mexico. My goal is to try to get a 1199, just stopping and going, and then get the 60 to 130 at a 999. That's my goal. I don't really know if it's going to happen still in this air yet with the stock tune and everything, but I'm going to try. So here we go. I can't get this thing to quarter mile though. I can't get it to quarter mile. So the first pass, I was pretty happy with a 12.3 at 118. But something feels like it's hesitating. I did set my best. The 60 to 130 is just flying though, man. 1039, that's pretty damn incredible. I'm gonna pull over right here and try this one more time. Couple hits. I got a personal best. Basically, we got our best ET by like 2/100ths of a second. I'm a little disappointed about that. I have a theory that since I'm on 28-inch tires, that's the reason. I just can't get this thing to 60 foot on the Dragy under a 2. It's like 2.0, 2.1, whatever. We did pick up a couple mile an hour, so our best was a 12.30 at like 118. I was very happy that the 60 to 130 improved to a 1039, I believe. Like I said, I just got done making the hits, back to back stuff. Pretty happy about that. That shows a lot of promise. I know that online a lot of the Gen 3 Coyote guys with the 85 tunes and stuff are going into the 9s. I don't know the whole mod list and all that stuff. I just see what I see posted online. Now the beauty is that, I mean, we're still in bad air technically. I mean, you know, when you guys see the good results on the internet, they're usually always in like 45 and 55 degree dry air. This is still, you know, 70 plus with a lot of humidity. We're over 1,000 DA. If this thing, I'm telling you, if this thing had like negative DA right now, and you will see those results soon. I'm not going to be stock when that time comes around, of course, or whatever, stock-ish, whatever. But these results would be way better if it was 40 and 50 degree air. So those of you watching that are into keeping up with what all the Coyote guys do, this thing's very fast. I can't even, I mean, my Gen 3 car took a E85 tune, a custom cold air intake and a GT350 intake with a bullet throttle body or whatever to go 1070s in this same type of air. Again, that's the confusing thing, is a lot of these results that you guys see are in 45 degree air. I see it all the time where I'm like, damn, that's a good time. And I'm not knocking that, because I have results like that. I've got all kinds of results that I've shared that are in the 40s and 50s with dry air. You know, it's kind of just what we do. I mean, that's part of the thing. Like, you know, as a gearhead, you go out and you chase that good air. I'm doing this in, you know, everyday normal conditions. You know, I'm not prepping anything. I'm stopping and going in normal conditions. There's nothing miracle, you know. And for those watching, if you want to hate on what I'm doing, that's fine. But there's a lot of people that just want to see this shit in the as it's happening, you know, in the wild, real deal stuff. And that's what I'm trying to bring you guys on this channel. No miracle stuff, no crazy stuff, no tricks. And of course, if I do tricks, I'll share them. But anyways, to summarize the results just now, we got personal best across the board. The quarter mile wasn't quite as good as I was wanting. I think that's because of the 28-inch tall tire and the gear, because this is a 355 gear car. I truly believe that's the main reason there, because I mean, I hit the shifts like I normally hit the shifts. There was nothing different. The air's a little bit better. We saved a little bit more weight. All right, so I was out earlier today making some hits, and I really want to get into the 1220s. So it's nighttime now. The DA is about the same. The air's a little bit more crisp, but I really think there's more in it. I wasn't happy, so I lowered the tire pressures today, and I think I'm gonna try to be more aggressive right here on the launch. So let's see what we can do here. Came to this spot earlier and I just cracked off a pretty good time, so I'm gonna try again right here for my best. Let's see if I can figure this out real quick. figured we would sit down and discuss what our goals were. Every time we meet a goal, I think we should do a quick recap on, you know, what the goal was, what we did to get to the goal, and how we accomplished it, when we accomplished it. Of course, you guys are going to see that in the videos. But I got Corey right here with me. We're going to talk for a few minutes about, you know, the whole purpose here, why we bought the car, why we're doing what we're doing, what the goals are, what the long-term goals are, what the short-term goals are, and then, you know, kind of go over what we've done thus far. So when we picked up the car, I mean, we really didn't have any goals. I mean, you know, I knew I wanted it to be fast like my Gen 3 car, but
the first day it was like, well, let's just see what we can do first, and go from there. So as things kind of developed, I think we sort of knew that we wanted to be 11s.
Right. That was the first step.
Right.
Because you can't, it's 2023, so you can't just buy a car and be like, look at what, you know, I mean, what was my first pass at 13.0. You can't go out there and say, look at these cars, they're so great, because, I mean, that's 15 years ago cars, you know. So, and there's a lot of hate about the new S650, the weights. There's a lot of misinformation out there about, you know, it's 100 pounds heavier, it's slower, EPA, the prices are too much and stuff. So remember my red car, you liked that car, you helped me with some stuff on it. I was looking at the MSRP earlier because it's for sale online, and it was $41,470 sticker. Well, this car was $44 sticker. Now it's not apples to apples because I had the performance pack.
Right.
But it's not like we're talking 30 grand to 60 or 40 to 50.
Yeah.
This car, when you look it up, Ford tells you that they went up $4,000. That's a lot to swallow. But what's not expensive? It's not just a Mustang thing.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
I mean, what else are you going to do? Are you just going to say, I'm not going to play with cars anymore? You know.
Right.
Are you going to change your hobby? I mean, that's kind of the cost to do business. If you don't want to do a car like this, well, then you can go get an older car.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Well, the other thing, too, as we were digging through the car, we realized that, hey, you kind of expect the markup when you see the technology they put into the car.
Screens.
Yeah, screens
multiple
everywhere.
Screens.
What
did our cars have? You had the performance pack car. I've had every one I've ever had.
Yep.
It was a screen. It was a 4-inch.
Telephone buttons on the side.
Yeah. I mean, so I understand, and there's other things too, like remember when we had it up in the air and the front suspension parts are aluminum.
Right.
You know, so they're adding weight to make it a better experience, but they're trying to take away weight, so they're not making a 4,000 pound car. It was 3,750 the first night we brought it home, remember?
Right.
So, yeah, so I think we kind of decided, we mutually agreed there that, like, we got to get this thing into the 11s. Now, it's not official. We use Dragy, hence the name Mr. Dragy. But everybody knows that when you get to a certain point, you take it to the track, and we can back this up. And you've seen every time we do that, or I do that, like, you know, because every time you look out there, you're like, what the hell is he doing now?
Right.
So, but I'll go Dragy, but then I go to the track, and what happens? It always runs better.
Exactly.
It doesn't ever go slower. Have you ever seen that? And you've known me for years. Have you ever seen me Dragy a car and go to the track and go slower than the Dragy?
Nope. Not even once.
Yeah.
So let's give a rundown of the first week.
Right.
We put a video up of the first week that we had the car, and we did very minor things.
Free mods, they call them.
Mods,
you just so right out of the gate, I was trying to go 12s and I couldn't get it.
Right.
I was disappointed. The car had 50 miles on it. We went 13.1, 13.0-ish at 11, 12? I don't even remember. Okay. That was very on par with what all of my previous stick shift Mustangs were. Like I'm not talking like the drag strip on a tire. I'm talking like normal street tire stuff as they come from the showroom. And then you caught me taking the stuff out, right? So what did we do then?
We did removed the carbon traps.
Yeah.
And then immediately trimmed the grill.
Yes, so we had the carbon traps and the grill.
Right.
We didn't do the air filters yet, though.
No.
Because remember, we put the filters in for the second test. So now there's a lot of drama behind the carbon trap stuff.
Right.
So I've made it a point to say everything that's happened, though. I didn't come out and say carbon traps saved a full second, but that's what everybody's regurgitating. We went through a half a tank of fuel. We had 50-something pounds less fuel.
87 octane.
87 octane. Okay, so we went from low 13s to mid 12s. Then we went lowish 12s we did the K&N filters.
Right.
We did the rear seat delete.
Yep.
And the forge line wheels and drag radials.
That's it.
That's it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we went 1230s at like, and the mile an hour started getting up there, like 116-ish. And then on the 60 to 130, though, it slowed down because of the heavier wheels and tires on the back. Yep. And so we went from 11.2 to 60 to 130 back up to like mid-11s. Let's call it 1150s. So we lost a little bit there, and then that's when I came up with the spare tire idea, right? I was like, okay, we got to find these. So we did spare tires on the front, the factory spare 18s with the Maxxis tires or whatever. And then I put the stock tires back on
the rear, right?
And I wanted to do that just to do a 60 to 130 because I really wanted to get into the 10s on the 60 to 130, and it got back to the 1120s. So we were back kind of where we were. Let's talk about the weight we've taken off. So to get to an 1194 and 120 miles an hour track speed and a 10.0 60 to 130, we did. Josh Parker hooked us up with a Pypes catback, and it's about 10 pounds lighter. And then we did the Pypes
X-pipe,
10 pounds lighter roughly.
Right.
The drag pack was 29 pounds lighter than the stock wheels.
Yep.
So about 50 pounds right there.
And then the passenger seat.
Yes, yeah. So to get from like the low 12s into the 1190s, we used the drag pack. We used the Hoosier DBR tire in the back. I bumped it down before I took off. I bumped it down to 18 PSI last night. A lot of times the Dragy's a little slower on the 60 foot, but I did go a 193 60 foot last night, which I was super happy with. Yeah. Because we're also fighting the clutch protection. You can't leave too hard. Like a lot of people on my posts are saying, let that sucker fly from 7,000. You got to be careful with, when you have a little bit of traction, but a little bit of wheel speed is when that slip gets into the clutch, and then the factory will cut you down. Right. So that's why tuning is going to be such a big
deal. A launch at 7,000 is so close to the factory rev limiter too.
Right. I know.
Kind of playing with fire there.
Yeah, you are.
Let's approach the subject about bead locks on an NA car. Right. There's lots of hate going around about bead locks on an NA car. Right. And the fact of the matter is, we didn't put bead locks on here because we need them right now.
Correct.
But we will need them in the future.
A big eye-opener for me was, and I've put bead locks on all my cars. Right. Because every car, I don't ever leave a car like in the 10s or 11s. I always go for 8s or faster. But on my first GT500, I had the Inky wheels. Because I had to find something that worked, like early on. I was trying to just go fast. And I would go out to Mexico bridges, and they're concrete, and I would be trying to do my 60 to 130 starting from 40 and 50, and it would like a weird tire shake feeling. And I said, man, this isn't right. It was hooking, but it wasn't. It was like, so I started marking my tires, and that tire on that non-bead lock wheel would slip an inch every time I hit it. Now that's from a roll.
Well, that tire was also glued too.
Yes, it was. Jeff Capello glued it. Yep. He used the high tack on both sides of it.
And it still slipped.
Yeah, and I let it cure for that's my trick. That's what I've done for years. That's the point. Like, there's a lot of hate out there about it. Everybody, it's rampant. But the people that are hating on that, are they the same people that would go through multiple sets of wheels in one build?
Well, I think that's the point too. Why spend money twice on wheels? Right. And so if we do it now, then we're ready for
get it out of the way. Right. So whatever we're going to do, probably going to be a Whipple. But I can tell you for a fact, with a stick car that hooks, and it's 38, 39, 4,000 pounds, whatever, especially with the Whipple on there, it's going to try to spin that tire on the wheel, period. Right. So I agree with you. I actually... there were some people recently that saw the car, and they, in person, and they were like, you got bead locks on there and that car can't even be tuned yet? And I said, yeah, well, I'm not going to buy 3 sets of wheels by the time it's time to make power. Exactly.
So, that's where we are really. Some weight reduction, very minor modifications.
Mm-hmm. No tuning. For those of you watching that don't know the car, I've said it a million times. I'm going to say it again, and then I'll explain the tuning stuff. But it's a 2024 base model car with 355 gears, which is killing us on this 28. It's taking it's taking all the gear out. Yeah. That's why I'm even more impressed once we can put a gear in this thing and tuning. It's going to fly. Yeah. So we went 10:03, 60 to 130. Next stop is the 9s. Yep. Not the quarter mile, but there's people that just keep on saying, they want to see this thing go 9s, 60 to 130 without a tune. Yep. Guess it's not common for a manual trans car. So, that's what we hit our 11-second goal. We need 9s, 60 to 130, and then from that point, it's the 10s that we just discussed. So, and then maybe 8s on the 60 to 130, and then who knows where it'll go from there. So you guys, thanks for tuning along. Just stay tuned with us. There's a lot in store for this build. Like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time.